Welcome back, whippersnappers. This is Gramps. We are in Shapes 2 challenge mode with the dimension update. Last episode, we got our MAM up and running and rocking along with getting our first set of shapes done. So that's this guy right here, which is now level 4. It is chugging along. I don't need to touch it. It is going to automatically do it. And in fact, you can see here, these are bad shapes. So those are all going into the trash that we set up. But there are a few sneaking out that are good shapes. Those are going in. And we have not delivered any yet, but that's okay. They will all get delivered. One of the things I was trying to do too was to set these up. In fact, let me go ahead and finish up setting up these little jumpers along this path, and there's a reason for it, and I'll show you when we get back. Okay, so I've set up a demo here, and I just want to show you this. Like, if we release these all at the same time, who's going to get to the trash can fastest? This one, which jumped the furthest. So that just speeds up the movement of the shapes. Now we've had two, we actually had two go through while I was doing that. And we are on to our first color. So let's build out some color here. This is our new shape. So our shape, it's all square, but the bottom, or yeah, the two south pieces are green. So that's this one south and this one. So these two middle guides need to be painted green. And what I need to do is we're going to cut that off, okay? And I don't 100% have this figured out what I'm going to do. So we're going to play with this for a little bit. And first of all, I think I am going to come back in here. And maybe not even there. All right. Because what I want to do is I'm going to bring in these three colors, red, green, and blue. And then we are going to mix as needed, or not mix as needed, and go from there. So let's do this. And then we will also do this. So we're going to have our colors coming in like so. And then in the same way that we do with shapes, where each lane goes to a section, we're going to do that with the color, okay? But, yeah, I need to figure out how to do this. All right, so I've not redone this before. What I did with my last build is I brought in a color train that was 7 long. So we had all 7 colors. And I just wanted to do it differently this time. So we're going to have basically a shape coming along this line right here. Okay, I don't have it connected yet on purpose. And what I want to do is, here, let's also do this up here. What I want to do is somewhere around here, I don't know, maybe, I just don't know where, is it needs to get colored. Now, we can do it a couple of different ways. So I also want to use, this is another challenge I've made for myself, is I'm going to use our fluid tanks. Just because. Oh, although they are... See, that makes them even worse. Because they come up here to this level. I don't want that. Ugh. I think it's okay. They output 1,800 liters per minute. How fast do we paint? We only need 450 liters per minute, so that would handle 4 of these. All right, so we're okay with that. So here's one idea I had, is maybe we do this. Maybe we have 7 tanks here, right? And the colors come in because when they're coming in, they're coming at 7,200 liters per minute. So they could come, like one guy from here, come in and fill, like let's say this is red. And we're going to have red, and we're going to have magenta, and we're going to have 7 white and yellow. So that works there. All right. Here's what we can do too. I was going to say maybe we paint them over here. I'm going to do that. So this is red. RGB. Red, this is green. So if this is green, all right, let me do this. I'm gonna do signals. The color red. This way I can see easily what each one is. R G B cyan, magenta, yellow, and instead of black, white. So I think we could do this and then have it turn on the one it needs to turn on. Then, if it needs to not be colored, like if it's an uncolored, then it could go down and around this way. All right? All right, let's try this. Wonk, wonk. Now, of course, this needs to come in here, but then it also needs to go up above and up above. All right, so that would work. There. Okay, but here's the problem. What we need to do is we need to do flow control. And if this is... let's come in here. The pipe gate. And the problem is I think this holds ink, so I think it might get painted a couple of times all the way down. So let's try... that. Okay. Let's just do this all the way. Uh-huh. That goes in. All right. And I'll worry about that later. So, and we're going to have 3 layers of fluid coming in. But the way this is built, we only need 1. So we could bring those other layers and add them in to the flow. Figure that out. Let me think of how we're going to wire this. Actually, let's try this first. Alright, so... nope. And we're gonna have green coming in there. There. Oh, and there. That's something different. Yeah, that doesn't work there. We need it to come into a color mixer. Maybe we do that up here. Just for kicks. Yeah, so red comes in here. And then does that. For magenta. Okay, and then gonna have to do the same thing for yellow. And then for white, gotta do 2. Alright, so let's try that. So that's only going into 4, which is good. Oops, this is in the wrong place. So is this. Okay, alright. So let's get this to work. Uh-huh. It's gonna go in there. Then, this is green. It's also going to come in here. And, of course, here. But, nope. There. All right. And we need to do the same for cyan. Okay. Blue. needs to come in there too. Or green, I mean. And red is right here. It's going in there. Red, green, and then blue. Yeah, here's the problem. Be nice if we didn't have to jump here. Alright, so let's take this. Get rid of that. Nope. Alright, we're going to do this. See if that works better. Okay. So, let's get... I'm going to get a color train coming in. I need to do that anyway. Yellow color train. And that's what we want. Yes, yellow. Okay. So once this comes in, we'll have color to two of these. We'll have red and green. So if I release the beast with no wiring, I just want to see... Oh, did I do that totally wrong? I did that totally. Oh my god. I have blue, green, red instead of red, green, blue. Alright. It doesn't matter for our experiment. Alright, if we change this to blue, it fills that. And this is green. So, yeah, I think what's going to happen is the shape is going to come in here and it's going to get painted blue, and then it's going to get painted green. And we don't want that. Blue. Green. Exactly what we don't want. And the other problem is that it slows it down because we actually want 4 of these per belt. Alright. So this is not working, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Because the other thing too is if we turn this off and say that is red, there's still paint in there, so therefore it's still going to get painted green. Oh, there's no ink in here, so alright, get rid of that for now. Yeah, see, it still gets painted green, but you can see it clears it out. But it still holds, it still has 30 liters. Let's see how long it takes to empty that out. And okay, it's empty. So that's not too bad. Oh, that's right. I was looking at the one on top. All right. All right, you can all stop. So this is not going to work. And for a number of reasons. Let's kibosh you and you. Okay. So the other idea I had was that we stockpile all these fluids, right? We stockpile the 3 fluids. And then we use wiring to open up specific gates to send the fluids into the mixer or into the painter. So let's look at that. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this. I'm just gonna plug it in over there. And keeping with this. Oh, look, we can actually. Oh, wait, we can't put this on top of it, right? Oh my goodness. We can. Hey. All right. Well, that's good news. So we can stack these on top of each other, which I did not realize. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yay. All right. That is good stuff. All right. So, if this guy were full of blue, and this guy were full of green. And we said, hey, at this level here, we just want we want some green fluid. So first of all, we need this to be quadded up. So let's do this and this. And we'll do jumpy jumps in. That way we can, oops. That way we can have that all connected. And then right here, if we said, hey, only let the correct color through. And that is with this. Okay, so only let green through. See, here's the problem. Is if these two are connected, you know, who knows what color is in there. And all right. So if we take this, why do you keep doing this to me? All right, boom, and boom. Let's say, and let's get a signal producer. That is color blue. All right. So now we are good to go. All right, and then over here, we're doing that. Okay. It's going to continue on through. And let's toss those into trash. Okay, yay! We've got all blue going through. Oops. Okay. So solid belt in, solid belt out. Great. Now we change this to green. What happens? Does it ever change? So now it's stopped here because there's no more ink coming in. But it's not letting this through because this pipe is full. Alright. So that doesn't help either. Okay. Alright, alright. That's all good. We could have each color could go through one of these. But nah, that's cuckoo nutty. All right. Yeah, now it's all green, sure. And then that just starts working, right? Yeah. All right. Okey-doke. So we don't want that. We also need to have a mixer in the works. So does this go straight through? Or does it come in here to make cyan? So we could do something like this. Maybe? No, I think same problem, right? Because if we switch just to blue, then yeah. Oh. Well, how come that worked? I don't know. And that is doing blue, but slowly. So we can speed up. Why? That's weird. Why is that going so slowly? Oh, it's because it's filling all this into blue. Alright, now it's kicking in full speed. Alright, we don't want that. Alright. Hey. So, now this is also very primary wiring, not what we need. But I'm just, running some basic experiments here. Alright, let's turn you off. So again, the other idea is that we pre-mix everything and just send it in here and just paint the color that we need, where we need, when we need. Well, alright, so it's not a perfect fix, but I did figure this out. If I have this, switch it back to blue. It goes to blue very quickly. So I got rid of this gate right here. And let's try going back to green. It's actually swapping really quickly. So I think this basic idea will work, and I think it will get up to speed here. It's just slow getting started. Alright. So I think that this is conceptually working. What I'm going to do, though, is take this and put it way down here at the end. Oh, which is actually good, because we don't have any colors coming in here. So that would mean this guy just comes all the way down here and actually does a jump there. Goes into there. And let's do it here. All right. So, and again, we can take that, what I just did, and we can copy it as far as, having these speed down the tracks. But then right here, we will do that instead. Because at this point, we're going to say, hey, if you need to be uncolored, then great. And you will just go around the painting works. And go like so. And back in. All right, so that is our basic painter module. Now, how do we get the correct color into here? I'm just gonna get rid of this because we're gonna do some shenanigans up here. Let's get rid of this too. All right, so we've got blue, green, and red. Let's get red. All right, blue, green, red. So here's our base of each of these, and what we need to do is pick what color is going to come into the tube here. All right. And again, we're going to jump things over here, but optimally not. I think actually I take that back. We're going to jump things here. All right, we'll fine tune that. So if it were to be, for instance, blue, we would just want that to come on down. And let me just clear this out. And go into there. And if it were green, we'd want it to do the same. But then which of these tubes are we going to open up? Now, if we're going to be cyan, then maybe we need this guy. And if it's yellow, then maybe we need this guy. Let's get red in here too. Immediately turns red. All right. So here's where we're going to cut these guys. Now, if we are looking at, all right. Nope. If we're looking at this, color equals blue. Color B. Then that's a signal, okay, that we want to send to here. Now also, though, if color is cyan, then we're going to need blue. If color is magenta, we are going to need blue. And if color is white, we are going to need blue. And this is the going to be, what we get in from the signal here. And so let's say that right now is blue. So we want this to turn on. With an equals. I'm going to say if it equals the signal, then turn it on. All right. All right, so let's take this. Change that to cyan. And you can see it does not equal cyan, so the signal is not turned on. And yeah. Let's come up here and do an OR. So if either of these are turned on, then it sends, it will say yes, blue is what we want. Let's do that down here. And yeah, let's go ahead and set this up. Okay, so if we change that to cyan, it stays on. Now if we change it to yellow, it goes off. Trash can. Okay. So right now, it should paint a few of these, and then stop. Let's not get fancy. Let's just say red. Yeah, alright, so it painted a few. Now it's checking the rest in the trash. This needs to be a belt filter. Like so. And right here, color -U, right? Yes. Oops, not there. If the signal is equal to that. There we go. Although that's not equal to that, so why is it pushing it down this way? Oh, filter. Okay, we don't want that to be filter then. If it is... If it is gray, then go around. Ah. Do we need a knot? I don't think so. I think the knot is gonna kick it out that way, which we don't want. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. So now, if we come back here and change this to uncolor, now we should be going down, right? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. That's good. And let's take this. And do this and this. And it would be nice if we had more room. So we're going to do that. And this one is, oops, color green. And this one. Now we're going to see some stuff. Yep. All right. So you see it fills it and turns it red pretty quickly. And we're at full speed. Now let's try to switch over to blue. That does switch to blue pretty quickly. And then it gets going. Wow. Okay. This is working. I'm liking this. But now we need to do the secondary colors. Let me take this. Alright, so now we got the same spacing in there, I think. Alright, so let me see if this works here. Okay, so first, green. Switches to green, that works. Okay, now if I switch this to cyan, it's not going to work, but look, yes, those are both on, which is good. Or maybe not. Alright. Switch it back to uncolor. Drain the system. Okay. So if this is pumping that out. Alright, so I think what we need to do is come up a level and set the mixers. And these need to be doubled up. Right. Uh-huh. Oh, no, we can do this. Can we do a wire right there? We can. Okay, we can do that into there. And we can land that like so. Okay. So that is all of our stuff coming in. I'm going to move it to here. Okay. So if we do color cyan, nope, that's not work. Okay. Yeah. All right, so what we need to do instead, let's drain those out, is have this always be full of color. Okay, so there's blue. And then this one, we go there. So I think we need to cut that. Do this instead. Uh-huh. Yeah, so we don't need this stuff here. Oh, although that's actually where we need it. Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. So if I change this now and say color cyan, then that actually works. That switches it to cyan. And I can work on changing the wiring later and all that stuff. Now if we want to go to blue, this all switches to blue, and so does that. If I switch it to green, now we're all green, and green shapes. And same for red right now. And we know uncolored works. Okay. This is working. Episode went insanely long. We're going to continue this next time. We'll pretty this up a bit. But you can see, I think, where we're going with this. So we'll have our yellow right here, and then we'll probably do magenta over here. So those will all be done. I'd like to tighten this up a bit too. Not sure if I'm going to stay on this platform setup. But we'll figure this out next time. Thank you so much for joining. This is Gramps, signing off.